Hey guys, welcome to another episode of doing a garden from scratch. It's officially week number 4, so it's now just a month now since I started working on this garden, and I think I've done sufficiently well. When I started this garden, let's just say today was one of the days I didn't quite feel like coming to the allotment, but I think I've made a commitment, just to do one video every week. And because I have not done one as yet for the week, I said let me just come down and do a video. That's one of the good things, sometimes when you post some things online, then you commit yourself, then you have to do it. You cannot do it. So that's one good way of, if you think you are not quite motivated, you don't get things done, one of the ways is someone gave me that advice once, that just post it online, say I'm going to do this, and then you're obligated to do it, because that 5 friends out of the thousands of friends on your friend list, you will be looking out for you to get that done. So maybe a little chat today. So as you can see, we've cleared up quite a lot of beds now. I think we only have this year remaining, so 1, and now some 3 small ones here to clear up. And so I will get this done. When it gets done, we have cleared up a couple. We've tried start digging, but the ground was just like so hard that we might have just wait for the rain to come. So we've been promised rain for the weekend. We've been promised thunderstorms, and maybe have to start doing a little rain dance and all that, so get the rain falling. So that's that. So the other thing is, because we've had this hose pipe ban, so we need to get water here somewhere, somehow. There's pipes somewhere over there, and then we'd have to get a long hose here, and then I'm planning on using this sort of tank here as a bit of like a system to collect water. Then I'll just use a watering can or something to dip in there and wet the plants. So when I started this garden, I said in a month's time I was planning to have everything nice and prepared, and we could start planting and get ready for Christmas, to get some potatoes and some nice vegetables for that nice Christmas dinner. But life, sometimes you just have to go with the flow and do what needs to be done. When the deadline reaches, then sometimes you just have to stop and take a rain check, and always give yourself a little tap on the back, no matter how far you've got to give yourself a little tap on the back. Because I said, like most people, they don't start anything, and most of the people that start, they don't finish. But sometimes the world can be a really harsh critic. So don't be too hard on yourself. Always try to find ways to congratulate yourself for what you have done, and I think I've done very well. You know, there are people that's always trying to find faults. They're like, oh, you know, how come you didn't finish? You know, look at this bed there. You know, but you know, I have to look at the positive and say like, hey, you know, I've done all that. You know, yeah, the weeds, as you can see, they were probably almost as tall as myself. And now, you know, we've got nice places almost ready for planting. The other thing I can say, you know, when you're doing a garden, preparation, I think, is the hardest part. And don't try to rush that part. Don't try to rush preparing. You know, planting and watering and maintaining, that's the easiest part. But the hardest part is preparing for planting, and you want to get that part right. You know, so just take your time and just make sure you get it right. And the other thing I want to talk about today is budget. It's really important to set yourself a budget when you're doing a garden, whether it's for commercial purposes or, you know, just like a home garden or something. You know, like I think for me, I work out the sort of logistics with it. So I tell myself like, hey, I can get, you know, probably a basket of vegetables in the supermarket for £30 that lasts me a week. So I don't want to spend like hundreds of pounds to get this garden going. You know, I mean, it's not always about money, because, you know, sometimes like the mental health, you know, being able to, you know, take care of your mental health. You know, garden can be quite a relaxing thing. It's also physical, so I think you might save you money from going to the gym, you know, from doing other things. And, you know, like for me, I'm not big on the gym, but I can tell you from just being in the garden for the last 4 weeks, you know, I can see my belly has go on a downward trend, which is quite good. Yeah, so when I started, I said, you know what, I'm not going to spend, well, I'm going to spend as little money as possible. You know, that was my main objective, you know. So, you know, just try to use what's there. And yeah, so, you know, tools was like probably the first thing, the, you know, tools to clear the garden, you know. So I went to my sister, you know, she, you know, have a nice little garden and everything, and I borrowed like some fork, a spade, and garden shears, you know, for cutting the grass. But the grass was so tough that yeah, I don't think, you know, I was going to get very far with the garden shears. You know, and yeah, like, oh, you know, people say like, oh, why don't you get a grass cutter? Why don't you get this? Why don't you get that? You know, and in my head I'm thinking like, hey, that's gonna cost me money, you know, I can't do that. You know, so and they go, you know, growing up in the Caribbean, I think like the go-to tool for clearing the garden is a machete. So, you know, I did some research online and found out, you know, is it illegal to have a machete to do gardening over here, because you don't really see much people using a machete in the garden. And I found out, you know, once it's to your garden, you know, you have other tools and you're going to your garden and back, then it's not really a problem, you know. You can have a machete for the right reasons. So I got myself a machete and one of these tools for sharpening the machete, and along with a roll of garbage bags. I probably can get garbage bags from home, you know, but then, you know, trust me, you know, the expenses for you know, for garbage bags to come from somewhere else, you know. So that was my only expense so far, was a machete, a sharpening tool, and garbage bags to take some of the garbage away. And so far that has cost me about £30. So so far I've only spent about £30 on the garden. Health wise, you know, there's no price to pay for mental health or any of those things. So yeah, so today, as I said, I was not really in the mood to come to the garden, but now that I'm here, I'm probably just gonna try and to get some of this garbage away, and yeah, call it a day. Yeah, so just remember, you know, you have to find ways to always congratulate yourself. You know, the world is a harsh critic, as it is already, you know, so don't be too harsh on yourself. Yeah, until next time, thank you.